Cast a spell with us as we revisit the magical Bewitched cast from 1964. From Samantha's iconic nose twitch to Endora's mischief, let's see where the stars are in 2025. Elizabeth Montgomery brought charm to Samantha, the witch who tried to live a mortal life in 1964. Her iconic nose twitch and warm smile earned her 5 Emmy nominations. At age 31, she led the show with grace, blending comedy and heart. Fun fact, Elizabeth performed many of her own stunts, including a tricky broomstick scene. Elizabeth Montgomery passed away from colon cancer in 1995 at age 62. After Bewitched, she starred in intense roles like the legend of Lizzie Borden and became a passionate advocate for AIDS awareness. Her magical legacy as Samantha endures in reruns worldwide. Agnes Moorehead dazzled as Samantha's mischievous mother, Endora, in 1964. At age 64, her flamboyant performance, complete with colorful gowns and sharp wit, stole scenes. A veteran actress, she earned 4 Oscar nominations before Bewitched. Fun fact, Agnes co-hosted the 1948 Oscars, a historic first for a woman. Agnes Moorehead dazzled as Samantha's mischievous mother, Endora, in 1964. At age 64, her flamboyant performance, complete with colorful gowns and sharp wit, stole scenes. A veteran actress, she earned 4 Oscar nominations before Bewitched. Fun fact, Agnes co-hosted the 1948 Oscars, a historic first for a woman. David White shone as Darrin's ambitious boss, Larry Tate, in 1964. At age 48, his stern yet comedic portrayal of the ad agency head brought laughs, often caught in Samantha's magical mishaps. His chemistry with the cast was spot on. Fun fact, David was a World War II Marine veteran, adding depth to his disciplined roles. David White passed away from a heart attack in 1990 at age 74. After Bewitched, he appeared in hits like The Rockford Files and Columbo, showcasing his versatile talent. His memorable performance as Larry Tate continues to charm fans in reruns. Dick York brought humor and heart as the original Darrin Stephens in 1964. At age 36, his flustered reactions to Samantha's magic defined the show's early seasons. His comedic timing was flawless despite chronic pain. Fun fact, Dick's back injury from a 1959 film shoot caused ongoing struggles during filming. Dick York passed away from emphysema in 1992 at age 63. After leaving Bewitched in 1969 due to a seizure, he founded Acting for Life, a charity for the homeless. His warm portrayal of Darrin remains a beloved part of the show's legacy. Diane Murphy charmed audiences as Tabitha, Samantha, and Darrin's magical daughter, starting in 1964. At age 2, she shared the role with her twin sister Diane for 1 season before starring solo. Her adorable antics lit up the screen. Fun fact, Erin was so young, she thought the Bewitched set was her real home. In 2025, Diane Murphy, now age 60, is a writer for People magazine, a TV host, and a mother of 6, living in Malibu. She fondly recalls her Bewitched days and stays active, sharing nostalgic moments with fans at conventions. Dick Sargent stepped in as Darrin Stephens in 1969, taking over for seasons 6 to 8. At age 39, he brought a calmer, more relaxed vibe to the role, blending humor with charm. His chemistry with Elizabeth Montgomery was a highlight. Fun fact, Dick was a close friend of Montgomery off-screen, strengthening their on-screen dynamic. Dick Sargent passed away from prostate cancer in 1994 at age 64. After Bewitched, he acted in shows like The Waltons and Dukes of Hazzard and became an advocate for gay rights. His Darrin remains a cherished part of the show's legacy. George Tobias played the laid-back Abner Kravitz, Gladys's husband, in 1964. At age 63, his deadpan humor and calm demeanor perfectly balanced his wife's nosy antics. His subtle comedy added warmth to the neighborhood scenes. Fun fact, George starred alongside Humphrey Bogart in the 1941 film The Maltese Falcon before Bewitched. George Tobias passed away from bladder cancer in 1980 at age 78. After Bewitched, he appeared in films like The Waltons and continued his stage work. His endearing portrayal of Abner Kravitz remains a fan favorite in reruns, bringing nostalgic charm. Casey Rogers portrayed Louise Tate, Larry's elegant wife, starting in 1966. At age 40, her poised yet witty performance added sophistication to the ad agency world. She joined Bewitched after Alice Pierce's passing, becoming a recurring favorite. Fun fact, Casey was a race car driver and competed in stock car races before acting. Casey Rogers passed away from throat cancer in 2006 at age 80. After Bewitched, she appeared in shows like Peyton Place and wrote children's books. Her graceful portrayal of Louise Tate continues to delight fans in reruns, leaving a lasting mark on the series. Sandra Gould took over as the nosy neighbor Gladys Kravitz in 1966. At age 50, her exaggerated snooping and hilarious outbursts made her a standout, perfectly capturing the character's meddling charm. She joined after Alice Pierce's passing, adding her own flair. Fun fact, Sandra was a vaudeville performer, bringing her comedic timing to the role. Sandra Gould passed away from a stroke in 1999 at age 82. After Bewitched, she appeared in shows like The Brady Bunch and continued voice work. Her iconic portrayal of Gladys Kravitz remains a beloved highlight, entertaining fans in reruns worldwide. Alice Pierce originated the role of nosy neighbor Gladys Kravitz in 1964. At age 46, her comedic genius and frantic energy made Gladys unforgettable, spying on Samantha's magic with hilarious suspicion. Her performance earned a posthumous Emmy. Fun fact, Alice was a Broadway star, winning a Tony for her role in 1948's Look, Ma, I'm Dancing. Alice Pierce passed away from ovarian cancer in 1966 at age 48. Her time on Bewitched was cut short, but her iconic Gladys Kravitz left a lasting legacy. Fans still adore her zany performance in the show's early seasons. Marion Lorne enchanted audiences as the lovable, bumbling Aunt Clara in 1964. At age 81, her sweet, forgetful witch with a knack for botched spells brought warmth and laughs. Her gentle humor was a show highlight. Fun fact, Marion collected antique doorknobs, a quirky hobby that inspired Aunt Clara's prop collection. Marion Lorne passed away from a heart attack in 1968 at age 84. After Bewitched, she won a posthumous Emmy for her role in 1968. Her endearing portrayal of Aunt Clara remains a cherished part of the series, delighting fans in reruns. Bernard Fox brought flamboyant charm as the quirky Dr. Bombay in 1966. At age 39, his boisterous portrayal of the magical doctor, popping into fix supernatural mishaps, was a fan favorite. His witty one-liners stole scenes. Fun fact, Bernard also played Colonel Reese in Hogan's Heroes, showcasing his versatile comedic talent. Bernard Fox passed away from heart failure in 2016 at age 89. After Bewitched, he appeared in Titanic as Colonel Archibald Gracie and voiced roles in Disney's The Rescuers. His lively Dr. Bombay remains a beloved highlight, entertaining fans in reruns. Mabel Albertson portrayed Darrin's sharp-tongued mother, Phyllis Stephens, in 1964. At age 63, her comedic flair and skeptical reactions to Samantha's oddities brought humor to family scenes. Her commanding presence was unforgettable. Fun fact, Mabel was the sister of Oscar-winning actor Jack Albertson, making acting a family affair. Mabel Albertson passed away from Alzheimer's disease in 1982 at age 81. After Bewitched, She appeared in shows like The Mary Tyler Moore Show and films like Barefoot in the Park. Her memorable performance as Phyllis Stevens continues to entertain fans in reruns worldwide. Dick Wilson was a recurring face in Bewitched, often playing nervous clients or quirky neighbors starting in 1964. At age 48, his comedic timing and expressive reactions added humor to Samantha's magical chaos. He appeared in over 20 episodes. Fun fact, Dick was best known as Mr. Whipple in Charmin commercials, squeezing toilet paper in over 500 ads. Dick Wilson passed away from natural causes in 2007 at age 91. After Bewitched, he continued acting in shows like The Bob Newhart Show while dominating as the Charmin pitchman. His lively performances remain a nostalgic treat in reruns, show and sidebar. Alice ghostly brought quirky charm as the shy, clumsy witch Esmeralda starting in 1969. At age 46, her fading spells and nervous demeanor made her a beloved addition to Bewitched's magical world. Her comedic talent shone brightly. Fun fact, Alice won a Tony Award in 1965 for her Broadway role in the sign in Sidney Brustian's window. Alice ghostly passed away from colon cancer in 2007 at age 84. After Bewitched, she starred as Bernice Clifton in Designing Women and appeared in Grease. Her endearing Esmeralda continues to delight fans in reruns worldwide. Irene Hospitals portrayed Louise Tate, Larry's poised wife, from 1964 to 1966. At age 42, her elegant demeanor and subtle humor brought sophistication to the ad agency scenes. She was the original Louise before Casey Rogers took over. Fun fact, Irene was a talented singer and performed in musical theater before transitioning to television. Irene Vernon passed away from cancer in 1987 at age 65. After Bewitched, she appeared in small roles on shows like The Andy Griffith Show and focused on stage work. Her graceful portrayal of Louise Tate remains a nostalgic gem in early reruns. Maurice Evans played Darrin's father, Maurice Stevens, a theatrical warlock, starting in 1964. At age 63, his commanding presence and booming voice brought grandeur to magical family scenes. His dramatic flair was unforgettable. Fun fact, Evans was a renowned Shakespearean actor, starring as Macbeth and Hamlet on Broadway, earning a Tony nomination. Maurice Evans passed away from cancer in 1989 at age 87. After Bewitched, he appeared in films like Rosemary's Baby and TV shows like The $6 Million Man. His charismatic portrayal of Maurice Stevens continues to captivate fans in reruns. Paul Lynde stole the show as the prankster Uncle Arthur starting in 1965. At age 39, his sarcastic wit and zany antics made every appearance a comedic gem. His infectious laugh was iconic. Fun fact, Paul was the original voice of the Joker in the 1968 Batman animated series, showcasing his versatile talent. Paul Lynde passed away from a heart attack in 1982 at age 55. After Bewitched, he starred in The Paul Lynde Show and was a beloved Hollywood Squares panelist. His hilarious Uncle Arthur remains a fan favorite, sparkling in reruns worldwide. Bernie Koppel appeared in Bewitched, notably as Dr. Rhinehouse and Apothecary, starting in 1966. At age 33, his comedic charm and versatility shone in Magical Mishaps, adding humor to Samantha's world. He played multiple roles across 9 episodes. Fun fact, Bernie later became famous as Doc on the Love Boat, starring in all 250 episodes. In 2025, Bernie Koppel, now age 91, is retired but occasionally appears at fan conventions. After Bewitched, he starred in Get Smart and voiced roles in animated series. His lively performances in Bewitched remain a delightful part of the show's legacy in reruns. Sarah Segar appeared in Bewitched, notably as Mrs. Springer and Mrs. Grange, starting in 1964. At age 50, her warm yet sharp performances in guest roles added depth to the show's suburban world. She appeared in 5 episodes with subtle charm. Fun fact, Sarah starred as Eloise Darrin in the 1960s sitcom The Cara Williams Show before Bewitched. Sarah Segar passed away from a cerebral hemorrhage in 1990 at age 76. After Bewitched, she guest starred in shows like The Jeffersons and had a recurring role in Dennis the Menace. Her graceful performances remain a nostalgic highlight in reruns. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.